Hello, everyone. This is Degagne, and I want to welcome you to Self-Love and Essential Oils. And today we're talking about emotional balance. And I'm so grateful to have you to be a part of our class for this week and help me to welcome Celine Degagne of Inner Beauty Movement, who will be helping me to facilitate this particular class today. And I'm so grateful for Celine and her presence in my life, but also for her help in me getting this off the ground and getting started. Celine is the founder of Inner Beauty Movement, and she's also a self-love coach and specialist in helping people to move through their emotions and become grounded and centered within themselves. And she also utilizes essential oils in her coaching as well. And I'm so excited to have her to be a part um, of this particular class today. So welcome, Celine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor to do this with you. I'm excited when you asked me to talk about emotional balance because that's something I've dedicated, my whole healing towards was how to balance my emotions. Because I've always been, the little girl who was too much, who was always, feeling her feels and not really knowing how to navigate through them. So when I really got introduced to essential oils, I just knew that there was power behind them. So I'm super excited to talk about how the essential oils can really assist you in your emotional well-being today. So thank you, Jacqueline, for having me.
Thank you. And so, thank you again, everyone, for being a part of class today. Just want to let you know that the goal of this class is to support you emotionally. And what we're going to get into today is talking about emotional awareness, also emotional balance, and also how to make the connection to the emotional healing and balance and awareness through the essential oils. And so, I'm excited to share this information with you. So with that, I want to just get right into my spiel, and then Celine is going to share a little bit after me. But I just want to let you know this, and that is your emotions are valid. Your emotions are valid. And the reason why I say that is because they validate whatever it is that you're going through in life. They validate not only where you are in life at the moment, but they are also what I like to consider a gauge for also where you are in life and what you need to pay attention to. So many times we just go through our day and we feel certain frustrations and anger and different types of emotions, even joy, and we just go through it as opposed to really taking time to stop and feel the feels, like Celine and I both like to say, feel the feels, but also really explore why we feel the way we feel. And so not only are your emotions valid, but sometimes we, like I just said, we ignore our emotions. And what happens is we tell them to shut up. We tell them to go away. And I used to always teach that a long time ago when I first started coaching. I used to tell people, tell your emotions to shut up. You're in control. You're in charge. And absolutely, you are in control and you are in charge. However, your emotions come up for quite a few reasons. I have three reasons. The first reason is they help you to learn about yourself. They help you to learn about yourself. The second reason is they help you to heal. Now, in Self Love University, I use that word heal as an acronym because your emotions should help you to honor, empower, accept, and love yourself through whatever it is that you may be feeling in that moment. And also, they come up to help you to resolve whatever the issue, the underlying issue of that emotion is. Sometimes we want to deal with the fruit, but not necessarily deal with the root. And the goal is to get down into the root so that we can heal the fruit, so that we can really live a life that is satisfying and joyful. And sometimes that takes assistance. And that's why we're going to present to you today a few essential oils that's going to aid in the process of helping you to be grounded, to be settled in your emotions, but also to help you in dealing with and resolving those emotions. Also, a part of emotional awareness is acknowledging and accepting the emotions that you may be feeling. Uh, One of the things that I've learned is that sometimes when we acknowledge and we accept, or we acknowledge an emotion that we're feeling, that sometimes we have guilt associated with that. And I always believe that guilt seeks out punishment. And so what we tend to do is we tend to judge ourselves very harshly and think that we're a bad person because we feel a certain way. For example, maybe if a person is experiencing mom guilt, then they feel like, well, I'm a bad person because of whatever the situation is. And so because they feel guilty, then of course that guilt seeks out punishment, which means that I attract situations to me, I attract people or conditions to me that will so-called punish me for the guilt that I feel or for the whatever the quote unquote bad emotion that we're feeling. And so the goal is for us to really begin to pay attention to those emotions, dig deeper, but also to heal those emotions. Another thing too is we shouldn't not just not ignore and not judge ourselves, but don't reject your emotions. Sometimes it's good to just sit with the emotion, and this is getting into the balance part of this. Sometimes it's good to just sit with the emotion. Again, I'm going to refer to Self Love University because that's where I share a lot every week. But we actually, I have this thing where I say that when an emotion comes up, number one, don't ignore it. But you can do one of two things in the moment. You can say, okay, going to let it pass so that I can deal with the situation at hand and go back to it later. Or you can stop and you can sit with that emotion. And as you sit with that emotion, then that's when you begin to use the emotion to help you to discover something new about yourself, but also to help you to heal or to resolve whatever the situation may be. So once you acknowledge and once you accept it and you sit with it, this is the beginning of the emotional balance. Pardon me. And as you begin to sit with it, this is how you heal, but this is also how you align, you get back to your center. Because the truth is, we all have a center. We all have a peaceful place within us that is our place of alignment, our center. And when we get off balance and certain things, conditions happen, situations happen that pull us out of alignment, we can always return back to center, but sometimes it takes that sitting with that emotion. And so when you sit with your emotion, there are three parts to it. How I feel. So acknowledge right now, this is how I feel. I feel whatever it is that you're feeling, okay? Whether it's frustration, anger, it could be joy. I feel joyful. I feel happy. I feel excited. Just acknowledge how you feel. The next part is you want to ask the emotion, why are you here? What are you here to show me about myself in this situation? So after you ask the emotion, and I give this example a lot, it's just like having a visitor come to your house, and you have, a visitor that comes in unexpectedly, and they bring in this energy, and the energy is so negative, but you still tolerate it. You still just let them be there, as opposed to asking, why are you here? What did you show up for? Okay. And we can do the same thing with our emotions. And then the last part of that is to explore it. By explore it, what I mean is, um, why do I feel out of control? Why do I feel frustrated? Or even, why did this mom guilt come upon me? And then once we really understand and know that the reason why, then we can actually start to resolve those situations. And in resolving, that's when we get into the latter part, and that is connecting with ourselves, connecting with whatever tools that we need to heal. And in that, I believe that essential oils is a big part of my personal healing over the last few months, dealing with coming out of surgeries and so many other things that I was really all over the place emotionally. And the lavender oil really helped me, number one, rest, but it also gave me peace. Matter of fact, I have a wonderful example. Saturday, I needed to clean up. I'm in the midst of moving or packing to move, and I needed to clean up, but I just was just tired and just didn't feel like it. And I kept saying, I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. And then I remember me, I have to change my words, number one. So I changed my words. But then I got this little tool right here called Citrus Bliss. And I put it on my wrist and I rubbed it behind my neck. And I put on some affirmations. And before I knew it, I was up and I was cleaning and doing exactly what I needed. And I felt good. But the reason why I had to get down to the reason why I felt the way I did. Why do I feel tired? Because I was taking care of a lot of people and I was doing a lot and I was mentally overwhelmed, but also physically overwhelmed. And so it took the aid of that essential oil to help me to get through that moment in order to do the things that I needed to do. So the connection part is not just about the essential oils, but also about surrendering the emotions, surrendering yourself. But also another part of that is dealing with the situation directly, whatever that situation may be that you have to give attention to at that time. And also taking the holistic approach. And that's where I want to turn it over to Celine because I know that she will share more about the holistic approach with essential oils and our emotions.
Thank you, Jacqueline. That was beautiful. And same with me. I loved how you, before I dive into the essential oil part, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of, yes, feeling your feels. And the one thing that I notice, and Jacqueline, you could probably attest to this too, is a lot of times when we're doing the emotional work with our clients, it's really important that you feel safe, number one. Because all these years I was, trying to feel my emotions, but I wasn't around anyone that made me feel safe. And until I was around somebody that made me feel safe, or I made myself feel safe, right? Those are two different components. I didn't feel as crazy feeling my emotions because then there's always that judgment piece, like Jacqueline was saying, somebody judging you, rather it's somebody else that doesn't make you feel safe or yourself. And you fall into that rabbit hole again, and then you close yourself off. And Brene Brown talks about this as your armor, right? You build up this armor and then you get scared to feel your emotions. So it's like you start exploring, tipping, putting your foot in the water, wanting to express your emotions, and then somebody judges you for it, and then you close off again. And then it might be days, weeks, years until you feel safe enough to open up again. So I feel like the root to everything is really important with what Jacqueline said, to use that and to use it in an environment that makes you feel safe, right? And Jacqueline has a beautiful way of doing that. So if you don't have anyone, Jacqueline is a beautiful soul to really do this work with. So feeling safe is extremely important. And another thing I wanted to talk about as well is that judgment piece behind it. Eckhart Tolle talks about when we are feeling our emotions, sometimes what happens is we think we are the emotion. So we need to create space between us and the emotion. We are just the human, the vessel, the person experiencing the emotion. And when we create space like this, and this is what the essential oils does, is it helps you create the space so that it doesn't overtake your body. So that's the one important piece I thought Jacqueline definitely mentioned, is to create that space. So how do the essential oils help you navigate through your emotions? I like to call what's called a pattern interrupt. So when you are starting to feel an emotion, you sometimes, for example, start feeling overwhelmed and you don't know what to do and you feel like the emotion is taking you over. So it almost feels like you lose all sense of control and you lose all sense of power, especially if you need to focus on, let's say, like Degagne was saying, you need to focus on being present for your child. So you don't have time to deal with your emotions because you're focused on your child. Or maybe you're at work or at a grocery store. For me, once it was in the gym, I was going through my separation and I felt like I needed to cry in that moment. And I'm like, I can't cry in front of 50 people as I'm lifting the weight. So I had to hold it in. And when I was in my car, I grabbed my essential oil and I helped me through that process. And I was able to release the cry. Right? So it depends on the circumstance, but what I like to call a pattern interrupt. So let's say, for example, I'll use one of the essential oils that we're going to be talking about. You're feeling overwhelmed and you know that the emotion's taking you over. You grab your essential oil and what it does, it helps stop that train of thought that allows the emotion to take you over. So think of this as a visual, almost like a hamster wheel, and you have this little hamster in that wheel. You start thinking this thought that makes you feel a certain emotion, because all of our emotion stems from our thoughts. Some of our emotions are from deep trauma and deep pain, and it's conditioned in some of our cells that I will get into. But for this activity and this purpose, what happens is you don't want the emotion to take you over. So you have this hamster wheel with this hamster, and once you start thinking this thought, it's almost like an addiction, right? You want to keep going on that train. So that hamster spins faster and faster and faster. And what you need to do is put a stick in that hamster wheel to stop it for a second so that you get your power back. So you have an opportunity to choose in this moment what direction you want, because it's not the right time to feel it, right? Like Degagne was saying. So this is where you grab your essential oil, and the essential oils acts as that stick in that hamster wheel, right? So there's this whole science behind it, that it helps calm your nervous system, helps you become present, and then you get your power back, and then you get to choose, rather that's deep breathing. That's one exercise. You can breathe in through your nose and release from the mouth, especially with a sigh. So for example, let me just give you a little practice here. So you put it, let's say, on your wrists, and then you rub it together, and I'm putting console on. So let's say I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I take a deep breath in, and then let it out with a sigh. And the reason why we're letting it out is because we're trying to release some of that energy, right? And then from this point, now you have control back, and you have two options. You can go back on that hamster wheel and keep spinning again, or now you can focus on your child with you, or you can focus on the gym and that movement, or you can go back to focusing to something else. So it helps you become present in the moment and stops that hamster wheel. Now, a second option as a pattern interrupt, like Degagne talked about, you can use it to feel your emotions, like she said. So let's say you are feeling safe and you're in an environment to feel the emotion. So there's no kids around and you're feeling overwhelmed. Something happened and you feel like the emotion's taking you over. You can do the same thing, but instead what happens is you connect with the part of your body that's hurting. So before you grab your essential oil and you ask yourself, where am I feeling this in my body, right? Degagne asked beautiful questions earlier. So where do you feel it in your body? So let's say you're like, I feel pain in my stomach. You rub that essential oil directly on your stomach, and you put all of your focus on your stomach, even if you're holding it, and feel it. Because it's one thing to feel it and talk through it intellectually, and another one to embody the feeling, right? So now you're holding that space for that feeling, and then do what you need to do. Rather that's cry your heart out. Rather it's, grabbing a journal and writing out a letter of anger because you've been repressing for years, and you've really blocked your throat chakra, and now you're not able to communicate properly. So you just grab the pen and you're writing, and you don't stop, right? And then afterwards you can burn that letter, and that's an energetic clearance for you to release that anger. So I'm giving you in the moment how to feel your feels tools, right? With the essential oils. Another one, you can grab another essential oil and do a meditation, or do your angel cards, or, do deep breathing, whatever it is that you need to do. And if you're dealing with anger, so I deal with a lot of women who've been through a lot of traumatic experiences that weren't able to feel their anger, you can become that wild woman with the essential oil. You use it as a pattern interrupt, right? And then you can literally hit the pillow, or you can scream in the pillow at the top of your lungs. Like, it seems like an intense thing to do, but if we don't release that emotion physically in a healthy manner, then what's going to happen is your body holds on, your cells hold on to that pain and hold on to that tension. And it's proven in the Essential Oil Life book that I was reading that the more that we hold on to that emotion and we don't release it, the more our cells aren't able to thrive in our body, and the cells hold on to that. And then what happens is it causes inflammation in our body, which eventually leads to disease. But all this, again, what I love about what Degagne said is that there's a root problem to everything. And most of the time that's pain or trauma that we've experienced when we were a child. And the universe will always repeat that cycle, repeat that with different people, different situations, until you're strong enough to deal with it, right? So as the simplest way I can explain it would be, it becomes a pattern interrupt, yes, to either help you deal with the emotion head on so you can release the feelings, right? And I gave you a bunch of tools, whether that's journaling, deep breathing. If you're angry, it's okay if you need to hit a pillow. It's okay if you need to scream, or if you need to move your body, or if you need to journal, or if you need to communicate with a best friend and just say, I need you to hear me out right now. And I need you just to not judge me in this moment and just let it all out, right? Don't hold back. So those are all beautiful tools. And when you use the essential oils, it really helps you deal with it more effectively. It helps you not spiral or maybe go in your bed for a few days and be drowned by that emotion and become defined by that emotion. And we think when we talk about emotional balance, we think that, you know, we have to be perfect all the time, or we have to be happy all the time. And that's what I love about how Degagne brought this in, was that we need to honor all parts of ourselves. That's why we call it holistic healing. And that's why doTERRA came out with 5 different roller bottles, depending on the emotion that you're feeling, that they're pre-diluted and they're very, very easy to use. So you can have them on a go when you're having that moment at work, or you're having that moment in the gym, or maybe you're having that moment with your child and you need to take care of them and put your feelings aside. Right? So the best way I can explain it is it becomes a pattern interrupt so that you can safely feel your feels, or put it on the shelf and feel your feels at a later time. But healing doesn't all happen at once. So to repeat these tools and to continue doing this is really what's going to help you break down, like Brene Brown talks about, that armor that you have. Take one little piece off at a time so you can feel lighter and lighter and lighter the more that you explore your emotions, and you don't become scared and you don't become defined by them. So these are a very powerful tool for you to use during those moments. So Degagne, is there anything else? Because I could kind of go on and on a rampage about the cells and how it affects our body. But is there anything else that you'd want to dive into when it comes to the emotional component of these oils?
Yeah, I was actually reading where our bodies, whenever we experience certain emotions, releases certain chemicals. So if you can kind of talk about that a little bit, I think that'll be great, because it does, it releases certain chemicals. I always think about when you fall in love, you know, the dopamine and the feeling of well-being, working out, feeling of well-being. But also too, on the other side of that, animals can sense and smell fear when we are afraid. So our bodies release chemicals. So if you can talk about how that relates to the essential oils, and how essential oils can bring balance to even that,
I
would
love.
be great.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I love that. So I like to explain this as I'm going to give you 2 examples, and I'm going to show you how the essential oils work with this. So Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, and I teach this a lot within your beauty movement, is what's called a fight or flight. So think of a gazelle that's in a field, right? And it's eating grass, and all of a sudden a lion comes behind them. The gazelle automatically, the nervous system changes and prepares itself for fight or flight. So either it's going to run away, or it's going to assess if it can beat a lion. Obviously, the gazelle doesn't have the strength to beat the lion, but it does have the endurance too. So the gazelle will flight, and she'll run as fast as she can until she runs away from the lion. So literally, the chemicals in our body change. So there's a stress that is released, cortisol, in our body to either fight or flight the situation. And then what happens is the gazelle starts eating, once it gets away from the lion, it starts eating the grass, and the body starts releasing. That's releasing the energy, releasing the feelings of the stress hormones, right? Animals do this naturally, and it eats grass like nothing ever happened. But what happens with humans is that we had an experience like that as a child, or maybe as a teenager, or even as an adult, that created that stress, that cortisol level in our body. But what happens is we don't release it, and we re-experience it, and our body actually reacts without even thinking. And that's what I meant before by our body is taken over by emotions. So our body is chronically stressed. And that's what happened to me. I was in fight or flight mode for years without realizing it, until my body literally broke down, because my body didn't have a way to release it. So my body, literally, I came home that one night and my body fell to the ground. I had no control over my body. It was the most profound experience I've ever experienced. And even in the book too, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about that, if we let that go for too long, that's what causes disease state in our body. is that actual fight and flight, not being in that stress point. And it's a lot of stress on your cells. And then so our cells are not able to rejuvenate properly. And then we're holding on to all this excess energy, and then we have no way of releasing it. So then that's when the chronic fatigue, chronic illness, inflammation in our body starts to happen. But it starts with being in that fight or flight mode all the time. But the beautiful part about this is that our body doesn't know the difference between what our experience is in the room and what we're thinking. So this is where the essential oils can come in. So Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this as well, is that you can, lay in bed at night before bed. And this is why Degagne and I talk about the essential oils as a pattern interrupt and to help calm the body down. So you can literally be safely in your bed, closing your eyes, nothing's wrong, and think about that fight or flight situation, right? The gazelle being chased by a lion, but you can put your own story to it. Maybe, something traumatic happened to you and you keep replaying it over and over in your mind, or maybe you had a bad day and you're replaying that scenario in your mind. So you're in the comfort of your own bed and you're thinking about a stressful situation. Your body starts to react right away. The cortisol level starts to rise. Your inflammation starts, your heart rate starts to beat faster, and your body is actually in that fight or flight mode preparing to do something, but you're in the comfort of your own bed. So that's the power of your mind. So where does the essential oils come in? That's when you grab your essential oil and you use it in those moments. And it's proven scientifically that it helps calm your nervous system down, especially when you put it on the back of your neck and you have oils that have frankincense in it that can pass through the blood-brain barrier, so that it can calm your nervous system down and helps your body relax and remind your body, oh, okay, I'm starting to relax now. Maybe I'm not in that situation right now. And then you can do the mindset work to calm yourself down in combination with the essential oils and help truly move your body from a stressed and chronic place to a more calm and centered space. So I kind of went on a tangent there, Degagne, but is that...
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
That was beautiful and perfect and a great segue to what I want to share next, and that is the 3 things about essential oils. Number 1 is that they are safe. They are 100% natural and safe. They are non-habit forming. So there are no side effects, no addictions associated with the essential oils. They are extracted from plants with amazing health benefits, and they are certified pure therapeutic grade, which means that you can track them. There are tracking numbers at the bottom of every essential oil so that you can go and read about, research about the purity of it and the potency of it. The second thing about essential oils is that they are effective. They are more effective than modern approaches to health problems, which is, of course, medicine, pills. They are more effective. Also, essential oils permeate the cell membrane. They actually can penetrate the cell membrane and aid in the healing that you need. And of course, lastly, they are affordable, more affordable than traditional medical care, pennies per dose, and you save hundreds of dollars a year in medical costs by using or utilizing essential oils in your emotional and even physical health care. Now, I know people that may have to be medicated for emotional reasons, and so this could possibly be an option for you when it comes to maybe taking less medicine and saying, okay, let me try it and see if an essential oil can help me to manage my emotions better so that I don't have to be medicated, but that's totally at your discretion and whatever your doctor recommends and what you feel more so than what your doctor recommends. Now, this is something that I'm saying personally, it's a little side note, but of course, me having to have some medical situations happen in my life, one of the things that I have always been is an advocate for myself when it comes to doctors and medications. And so I always believe that the doctors know my body from a medical perspective, but I know my body from an intuitive perspective. And so I know what works for me. I've told doctors before, no, I don't want that medicine. I want this medicine. I want to try this and see if this works. Or no, I don't want to do that yet. Let me do something on my end at home to see if I can do it in a way that's better and get better results. So I said that to say that when it comes to the medical part of it, you work with your doctors, you work with them, and you go within to tap into your own personal intuition so that you can really know what works for you and be an advocate for yourself. The next thing about essential oils I want to talk about is 3 ways to use the oils. Pardon me. Number 1, aromatic. So you can diffuse them or you can inhale like Celine just demonstrated. Rub them on your wrist, inhale, rub them in the palm of your hands and inhale. And it produces a positive effect in your mood. It cleanses the air, but also supports your respiratory system. You can use it topically, meaning again, apply it to your skin. And you can also dilute it. And some of them comes diluted in fractionated coconut oil as well. And then of course, internal, take a drop in water or VeggieCap or under your tongue. So now I want to talk about your top 3, you have to pardon me, pardon me, top 3 emotional concerns. So whatever your top 3 emotional concerns are, I want you to think about those. And if you're taking notes, write them down on a piece of paper and just ponder them right now. And I want you to, once you think about your top 3 emotional concerns, I want you to just ask yourself, where are these emotions stemming from? Okay. And do exactly what I said. Sit with the emotion. Number 1, acknowledge it. Number 2, sit with it. And then, of course, you want to explore it. And once you do that, then ask yourself, what can I do to help myself feel better? What can I do to help myself to deal with my emotions in a healthier way than I have been up until this point? Okay. And here's a note at the bottom of this slide is that emotional awareness is a fundamental part of self-care. Celine and I talk a lot about self-care, but I just want you to know that when you are aware of your emotions, then that is truly a key in your self-care, because being aware, it's almost a navigation system. It tells you what you need, and then you can supply that need for yourself. Would you like to add anything, Celine?
No, I love that. You're doing amazing.
Okay, thank you. So let's get into, if you want to feel awesome, we have some tools that can help you feel awesome.
Thank you, Degagne. So I love how we present this at this time because we talk about emotions, right? Mm-hmm. So our emotions, it's almost like, you know what Degagne was saying, you know, you can put the emotion on the side to deal with it later. I feel like that's what happens with essential oils. So hear me out. So essential oils are a beautiful tool for in the moment helping you deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with. But then Degagne also says it's going to recycle, right? That same emotion, and you're going to have different experiences with different people to trigger you so that it can wake you up so that you can get to the root cause of it. So that's the foundational work. So same with essential oils. If we're using essential oils all the time to treat our emotions, it's a beautiful and effective in the moment tool. But what's at the root cause of it? And that's where the vitamins come in and help with the beautiful essential oils that we're going to talk about next. Is that the vitamins creates that healthier foundation for you in your body, for A, to really receive the essential oils, and B, to really help nurture your body in a way that, you know, some foods and some environmental threats that happen in the world cannot help you. So number 1, we have the LLV, which is the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack. We can first start with the Microplex VMZ. Yeah, what Deagne's showing right there, which is beautiful because I totally forgot to bring it with me. See? So that's a whole food multivitamin mineral. So what happens is, I know I'm a busy mom and I eat fairly healthy, but I can't get all the nutrients that I need. When I went to the doTERRA conference last year, everything that you would need to eat in a day was filled up in the grocery cart. So depending on your lifestyle, right, and how busy you are, we might not be able to get all the food that we need to eat in our body. And number two, our soil a lot of times is depleted. So if you're not, buying organic, or you're buying food from soil that is depleted, you're not getting all the nutrients from the food within your body. So the Microplex VMZ is an easy way for you to make sure that you get all of your multivitamins and minerals within your body. Then we have the Alpha CRS, your antioxidant, cellular energy, and longevity. What I love about that is Alpha CRS, when we're talking about emotions specifically, this is what helps you with the stress, right? So if your body is in fight or flight, is in that stress mode all the time, it's really hard on the body. And it doesn't allow your cells to reproduce properly. So the Alpha CRS comes in to really nurture your cells and make sure that the reproduction life of your cells are healthy and that they die off properly so that new cells can come into your body. Because I love how Degagne says this, but we are always healing. But if we are in fight or flight all the time and stressed all the time and not feeling our emotions to release it, that's the purpose of feeling our emotions, to have an energetic release, right? Then what happens is our body cannot heal the way it's meant to heal. And the vitamins are a beautiful addition and a beautiful tool to help the natural healing that's already happening within your body. Then we have the Biomega, which has omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids, and has 9 essential oils, which is beautiful for your brain function. And the Biomega really helps reduce the inflammation in your body. So remember how we're talking about emotions? You might be carrying a lot of inflammation simply from just not feeling your emotions every single day. So it helps with that. It helps your cardiovascular health, your stress management, like we talked about, and your immunity. Right? Your immune system weakens when we are in fear and are in stress and not feeling and releasing those emotions. So this is really the beautiful foundation to your body, in addition to these beautiful emotional oils that we're going to talk about next. Okay, cheer is mine. Okay, so cheer. This is one of my favorite ones. This one smells like, almost like root beer. Do you guys have root beer in the States?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think Christelle told me this the one time. I was trying to explain it in one of my videos. I'm like, I don't know how this one smells. It smells like root beer, but the benefits behind cheer is to help illuminate you, to help cheer you up, right? So it helps with depression, discouragement, and anxiety. And I really love this oil specifically because when I went through my separation a few years ago, I had a hard time even just, getting out of the house in the morning. I was going through, my own spiritual awakening and dealing with a lot of different things. And I would put this on topically, but then I would also put it in my diffuser, right? So not this one specifically, but the 5 milliliter bottles that we have. So this one I would literally pour over my heart, and because my heart was really sad at the time. And I was using this on my heart and then putting it in my diffuser in the morning specifically would help me just get the energy to even just get dressed or to even walk out that door, to rebuild myself and my life. Right? So cheer is a really, really good one when you're feeling depressed or really discouraged with anything in your life. And what I love about these is they're pre-diluted with coconut oil. So you can put it directly on your skin, put it in your purse, have it on the go, and really help cheer you up in those moments that you need it most. All right, so we have Console. So Console is, think of anything to help you feel comforted in the moment. So if you're feeling like you want to, cry, or you're not feeling safe, this is a beautiful oil for that. It helps with grief, it helps with sadness, emotional release, and reassurance. So when I was going through my separation, my son was also going through a transition. So this was his favorite oil. So again, with kids, and you can do this with yourself, if you don't know what you're feeling, because that's another thing too. If we're first starting this work, I remember I was crying and people would be like, what's wrong? Or what are you feeling? I'd be like, I don't know, I'm just a hot mess. Because I've held it in for so many years and I was releasing so much, I didn't know. So you don't have, if it's not the right time for you to know, that's okay. Just feel it first and then apply those beautiful questions that Degagne asked, because it's going to help you get to the root of the problem, which is what we want to really transcend the emotion. So Console really helps you if you're feeling sad or you're feeling any grief, like a loss of anything. And this one specifically, again, over the heart, and I will put it on the back of your neck as well and at the bottom of your feet. But you can literally just take a lot of these oils and just smell them, and your intuition will let you know by what you need in that moment. So this is a really powerful one for when you're feeling very sad and very overwhelmed in your journey.
And I love what you said. Your intuition will let you know what you need in that moment. Uh,
Yes.
that leads to forgive, and this is the one that I wanted to talk about. And it talks about relieve, release, and liberate. One of the biggest things that I work with my clients is forgiveness, because a lot of people have had experiences in relationships and with people that they are hurt. And so what what you can do with this is you can inhale it, or you can use it on the back of your on your temple, the back of your neck. But what it does is it helps you to release and let go, and also it is for the forgiveness and releasing attachments and holding on to anything that does not serve us. A lot of times we hold on to what does not serve us, and the forgiveness is not necessarily sometimes about forgiving another person, but also about forgiving ourselves. And that's some inner work that I've had to do for a very long time, is forgive myself for allowing certain things or allowing certain people to treat me a certain way. And so you can use this oil to help you in the forgiving process. Now there are some inner work things that you can do, and again, you can get with me or with Celine. But in doing the work, you can use this as a tool for yourself.
Jacqueline, can I just say something about
Yes.
this specifically? Okay, thank you. This wasn't planned. I'm just speaking from my heart. This is an inner beauty blend that I've done together. So forgive and rose. So we're not going to talk about rose today because it's not in the aromatherapy kit, but rose is another powerful oil for loving yourself and self-love. And these two together is literally what I used for the entire year. I used these oils again on my heart because I had to do a lot of forgiveness on myself. And then the rose would help elevate me so that I had the higher perspective, right? When we talked about that hamster wheel, to kind of can put that pattern interrupt, it's good to forgive yourself in the moment and then use the mindset work to elevate your energy and see it from a higher perspective, like Diakon was saying. So these two together are a very, very powerful combination when it comes to self-love and self-healing.
Yay. So we'll call that the self-love duo. And the next one is motivate. We use motivate for motivation whenever you need some motivation, some encouragement. If you need some, quick energy or anything, then that's what this is for. The top uses are for lack of confidence. If you need courage or motivation, confusion or overwhelm, I know sometimes we can get overwhelmed. And I'm thinking about a lot of things that's happening right now in the world because of this pandemic, and people are feeling overwhelmed, or maybe you've been in isolation so long to maybe you've gotten cabin fever and you need some motivation, then this is something that can help motivate you and get you started. And the way to use this, you can diffuse it or you can use it on the back of your neck, on your forehead, under your nose, and on your chest, like Celine just talked about. And it is an encouraging blend. It is to encourage you to be motivated to get up and get yourself together. And you can do that.
Passion. So this oil is an inspiring blend. So if you're looking for feelings of spontaneous, enlivening, and daring, it helps with depression, energy issues, if you have a low libido or sexual performance. So that's why they call it passion. So when I went, again, I used my separation because that's kind of the pivotal moment in my spiritual awakening. But after that, I had a reading with my friend Summer, who is a psychic. And you don't have to believe in that kind of stuff. That's okay. But she was really helping me along my journey. And, we started talking and she's like, have you ever been on a trip? I'm like, no, I'm too scared to go by myself. Who am I to go on a trip by myself? Anyways, we started chatting and I followed my intuition and I ended up booking a trip to Greece by myself. And I had nowhere to go. I just looked at the picture and said, this is where I want to go. I had nothing planned. And I literally 14-hour or 12-hour plane ride by myself. Here I am. I think I'm watching Eat, Pray, Love on the plane. And I'm going, okay, here we go. And I used passion. This is the one that I use to kind of the daring part of it, that independent, wild woman within me that was lost over the years because I have evolved my entire life around everyone else, being a mom and having a beautiful partner and a thriving business that I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know what I loved anymore. So this trip shifted everything for me. And this is the one that I use to really help me and inspire me to, you know, continue that journey. And also you can also use it like she's like we've mentioned on the slide, if you have low libido and you're not feeling passionate with your partner, maybe you've been together for years, you know, and you're just, you know, you're working on a lot of your sexual energy. This is a beautiful oil for that. And it has a beautiful smell to it, and it has cinnamon that actually sparks that fire within you. So this is a beautiful oil if you're looking for a little bit more passion in your life.
And passion and sex, all of that is a part of life. It's a part of self-care. So just make sure that you are tapping into all aspects of yourself, not just one particular aspect, but all aspects of yourself.
Thank you, Degagne. And that's why again, we're calling it holistic, because it's different. We want to give you the full picture. And it's okay if you're not feeling comfortable with some of them. If you're not feeling comfortable, then that's a sign. That's a sign that maybe that's an avenue you can explore, but in little baby steps, right? And having somebody to hold your hand along the way, because it is scary when we start feeling these feelings or jumping into the unknown, right? So I'll let you talk about this beautiful last oil we have.
Yes, the last oil is peace, and peace is a reassuring blend that helps you to release fear and worry. It fosters you to become brave and courageous for yourself, but also for the people that's in your life. The top uses are for insecurity, worry, nervousness, and irritability. So let's say you're wanting to go speak in front of a crowd and maybe you're nervous about it. Use the peace blend so that you can be able to calm yourself so that you can do that. Or maybe you know have something new that you're trying to do or want to do, and this goes back to following your passion, but having peace to follow your passion as well. Do that by utilizing the peace blend with the doTERRA touch. So let's get into it. The 3 ways to purchase. So I'm going to attempt to share share this.
You got this.
Thank you. That is number 1, retail, and this is of course the most expensive. We all know that. We all know you go to a retail store, you're paying the most expensive price for whatever it is that you are wanting, and it is only pay retail for professional settings. The second is wholesale. Wholesale is you get the best product for the best prices. Just like Costco, or here in where I live, we have Sam's, we also Sam's Club, and Trader Joe's, I believe, is also another one. But you get 25% below retail if you purchase wholesale. And then, of course, the last one is wholesale plus points for free products, which is, I think, the best deal. So you get 25% below retail with the wholesale membership, plus you also earn free products with your loyalty rewards program. I'm used to calling it LRP already. So the loyalty rewards program. And this program, again, you just get free products. So when you purchase something, you get points, and that points is added up so that after so many points are accumulated, you can get free products with that. And I do think that that's the best deal to go with. And Celine is going to share more about the LRPs, or loyalty rewards program. But before we get into that, what you can expect from me if you choose to purchase an oil, and I'm not going to say purchase an oil, if you choose to invest in your emotional healing and your emotional betterment, what you can expect from me, you're going to get a welcome packet. You're going to get a personal consultation. I consult with you before you get your package and also after you get your package. So you'll get a personal consultation. You'll get access to a VIP education group on Facebook, and then also community, and be involved in community, as well as giveaways. Plus you'll get my ongoing support. I'm going to share with you later on in this presentation my personal text messaging number, where I text you. I actually text you and say, hey, how's it going? How are the oils going with you? I have one person that's on the vitamins, checking in with her via email. How is it going? So you're going to get ongoing support. You're not just going to get something and just be it. You're going to get the support, be able to ask the questions or get the guidance that you need to get through whatever it is that you may feel like you're going through. So, the Healthy Habits Kit. We want to offer you 2 kits, and I'm going to let Celine talk about the Healthy Habits Kit.
I love that. And Degagne, I'm just wondering, could we maybe talk about LRP first, and then that way I can talk about the kits? I think it would just combine better in this.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
That's perfect. And then we'll go back to the kits.
Okay.
Sometimes we prepare intellectually and then we do it and we're like, this just feels better in the moment. Exactly. So follow your intuition. Okay. So it depends where you are. Some of you that are on here are already on, already invested with doTERRA and are already working with Degagne. So it's a beautiful thing. So I want to talk about how you can get free products. So let's talk LRP, which is what Degagne was talking about, the Loyalty Rewards Program. And it's delivered right to your door in the comfort of your own home. So can you go to the next slide? Okay, so if you're already a member, right, and if you're not, that's okay, we'll explain to you the next part. But if you're here and you're already a member, we like to call it your monthly wellness box. So you get a percentage back with each order that you place with doTERRA every month. So for the first 3 months, as you can see on the screen, you'll get 10% back in points. The 3 months after that, it'll be 15%. 3 months after that, 20, and then again and again, up to 30% back. So you will get 30% back after a full year of being on LRP with doTERRA in points, so that you can get free products. And this is a beautiful thing, guys, because think of if you go to the grocery store to grab hair products, or if you go, and order, cleaning products, whatever it may be. doTERRA has a wide selection that include a lot of these natural essential oils to really help reduce a toxic load, not just in your home, but on whatever you put topically on your body as well. So anything that you're buying at the grocery store, you're not getting money back for it, right? So with doTERRA, you invest in that and it gets delivered right to your door, especially with everything that's going on with COVID. And then you get points back to get even more products. So it's a win-win-win situation all around. So after a full year of being on LRP, which is a whole monthly purchase, right? A custom wellness box that you get to decide what you want. You get the points back and you get 30% points back after a full year. So how does the system work? If you want just to maintain your points, you just have to place 1 point. I say 10, so I would say put a lemon in your order just to be safe. But in this graphic here, it says, 1 point. And when we talk about PV, what is PV? PV is personal volume. So let's say you wanted to buy, well, you actually use an oil. You want to buy rose from doTERRA. Let's say this was $1. You would get like a point back, right? So it depends on the pointing system and what country you're from, but OV simply means for every product that you buy, there's a point system attached to it. And doTERRA did that because we have beautiful worldwide connections. So we've got the US, we've got Canada, we've got Singapore, we've got all of these beautiful countries that are on this beautiful doTERRA system. So they wanted to do points so it's easier all around. So that's what that is. Option number 2, which is earn loyalty rewards points and increase in percentage. So that graphic that you can go up to 30% at the top of the slide. If you put 50 points every single month, then you will move up that percentage scale. So you do need a minimum of 50 points. And what I love about this is we explain the vitamins, because it's the foundation to your body, and it's really going to help you absorb the essential oils through your cells much more effectively. And if you try the vitamins, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you have to take the full dose for 30 days. And if for whatever reason you did not like it, you can return, you can get your full refund on that. But that being said, what I love about the vitamins is that they actually are 50 points. So even if you just go on the vitamins, you would be able to climb up this percentage scale and hit 30% at the end of the year. So just having the vitamins as a foundation is good for not just your body, but for the actual point system in the LRP as well. If you want to start earning commissions, which we won't talk about in this video, but you want to join our beautiful holistic team to build a business, you do need 100 points in order to, get paid commissions from doTERRA. The other way is participate in Product of the Month Club. So it's 125 points. So if you put in 125 points before the 15th, so rule of thumb, always order before the 15th and you'll be good to go. So set up your LRP and Degagne will help you with that. And you put in 125 points a month. Then what happens is we have a free oil of the month. So Degagne, you had the Citrus Bliss last month, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, which is a beautiful oil. So you can, yeah, you can see doTERRA throws in a free oil of the month depending on the season and what's going on in the world. And you get that included with your 125 point order before the 15th of the month.
And this was a 15 milliliter. So it's a bigger container than the regular one, 5 milliliters.
And then the last one is product promotions. So I remember last November or December, was it? doTERRA mentioned if you put in a 200 point order, I believe it was a free frankincense. And we all know frankincense is the king of oils and it's one of the most expensive oils, worth the investment. Then doTERRA puts on these promotions depending on the time of the year that if you put in a 200 point order, you get a more expensive oil for free. So all of this will be delivered to you. Degagne will help you set up. It's very easy. If we just sum it up, the vitamins get you your 50 point, you climb up that percentage scale, and then you can add in all these other beautiful emotional oils to really help you balance your emotions with the help of Degagne, you know, doing the mindset work behind it as well. So do you have any questions, anyone? Or Degagne, do you want me to explain anything else about this?
I think that was pretty clear.
Okay, perfect.
So we're just going to go through the two products that we always offer. Whenever I always want to offer two products for you to get started with doTERRA. And so one of them is the Healthy Habits Kit, and it includes all of the vitamins that Celine just mentioned, but it also includes the 5 oils: the lavender, the frankincense, balance, the lemon, and the On Guard. Now, unless Celine wants to get into explaining the 5 that's available, which I really don't think we have to. You can if you would like to, but it also comes with the Deep Blue Rub. You also get the PB Assist as well as the Terrazymes. And the PB Assist is the probiotic. And the probiotic for this is very potent. So we suggest that you only take a few a month. You don't have to take the whole thing every month. I believe it's 10. Is it 10?
Yeah, 10 to 14. Yeah.
10 to 14 a month.
Yeah.
So you get what, 30? Yeah, you get 30. So this is something that you can have. And then the Terrazymes is digestive enzymes to help break down the food in your body as you consume your food, especially if you're eating a lot of processed foods. This is a great resource and a great way for you to couple your eating until, I always say it this way, until you decide that you want to, you know, change your eating habits. You can always use some assistance. And even when you change, you still need the assistance. But a lot of times, because I have one of my friends who's a physician's assistant, we talk about this a lot. That a lot of times people want to eat healthier, but they can't or they don't for whatever reason. So use a supplement until you can or until you decide that you want to.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. And this is where I've noticed everyone that's on the call is already part of doTERRA, which is why I jumped into the second part right away. But if you're maybe watching the replay of this, or you're interested in working with the beautiful Degagne, then you can, this is definitely the way we would love for you to start, because it includes the vitamins. So you're building that healthy foundation within your body. And this kit already includes the membership that Degagne was talking about. So the membership's included, where you save 25% for the whole year. And this kit in specific is $195 plus tax, and you save $75 on this kit. So if you're starting with doTERRA, a lot of you already have this kit or invested in something else. But if you're looking to start, this is a beautiful way to save money, get the vitamins, and have a beautiful foundation of the oils. And then we can totally add the specific, this kit as well that we're going to talk about next. And that we can add individual oils based on your emotional needs for you.
Okay. And the next kit is pretty much self-explanatory. These are all of the oils that we talked about today, the motivate, the cheer, the passion, forgive, and the console and the peace oils, and the experience the benefits of each doTERRA emotional therapy oil blend in a convenient touch format, which means it's already in a roller bottle that you can just use. You can carry it in your purse. You can take it with you wherever you are and use it, or you can use it when you have your personal downtime, when you can really sit with those emotions and do the work that's prescribed or that we talked about today in class. Now, I do know that this one, the wholesale price is 100 US dollars, and then the retail price is $133.33. Is that right? Yes. All right. So if you, and it also comes with the membership. Is that right? That's what I need to know.
That's okay. So this one doesn't come with the memberships,
Okay.
collections. But if you did want the membership, so let's say you did want to get started, we would recommend obviously the one with the vitamins. But if you wanted this, you know, and add the vitamins on top, we're very flexible. We're here to work for you, right? What you can do is you can pay $100 plus the $35 membership in the US. It's
Yes.
35 there. Yeah, so we would add the membership to it, and then you would definitely be able to get started. But if you are already part of doTERRA, you can add this to your LRP, right? So Degagne will help you set up, add the whole kit or the individual ones, whatever is best for you. But remember, we want to hit the 50 points when you start your LRP. And the easiest way to do this with the vitamins, and then add any of these beautiful oils to help really balance your emotions. So yes, it does not include the membership in this.
Okay, thank you. And so that leads to three types of people that I want to get into really quickly. And I've shared this before, but this is for anyone who's new that's watching. There are three types of people when it comes to doTERRA, and those are the people that, number one, want to live with the oils and the vitamins even, to make it a part of your lifestyle. Any doTERRA product, whether it is the cleaning products, whether it is the facial products, whether it is the vitamins or the oils, you just want to make it a part of your lifestyle and live with doTERRA. Like, have it in your home and use it for in whatever capacity that you decide that you want to use it. The next is to share the products and get paid for it. So if you're wanting to share the products and doing exactly what I'm doing right now, just setting up, giving me a list of your friends and say, hey, let's do this, this essential oils party or class or whatever you want to call it. We can do that. We can do it virtually right now, because that is the most safe way to do it, but we can do it virtually. I will provide the link. I will provide all of the information. You just invite. You give me the information and we'll go from there. And that way you can get your products paid for. The next is to build with doTERRA. And that's doing exactly what I'm doing, what Celine is doing, is that we've coupled and partnered with doTERRA in our existing business, but you don't have to have an existing business to actually earn an income, which means that whenever you are living with it, whenever you are sharing, and now you can build with it by creating a space in your life where you can make an income from sharing exactly what we're doing today. So I want to talk really quickly about the power of emotional balance. And I just want to say this, that you may not always feel good, and that's okay that you don't always feel good. Your power lies in listening to your emotions and allowing yourself to feel the feels like we talked about, processing through it, but also utilizing the tools that are available to you to help you in healing and in dealing with your emotions. So that is the power of emotional balance. It's not saying, okay, I'm feeling this and doing nothing. It's feeling it, acknowledging it, asking and answering the right questions, but also knowing and being intuitive of what you need and how to meet that need. And again, even if you're not intuitive, which you are, you may just not be in tune with your intuition, then that's what I'm here for, to help you to learn how to be more intuitive when it comes to your intuition and your emotions, so that you can provide yourself exactly what you need. So the power in emotional balance lies with you, YOU, and how you choose to embrace what you're feeling and how you choose to process through what you're feeling. And last, how do I get started? You can email me. I am deaquilin@gmail.com. You can also text me at 205 US. I'm in the US, 205-730-6330. Just say your name, Deaquilin, this is so-and-so, or you don't even have to say Deaquilin, this is so-and-so, and I'm interested in, and tell me whatever you're interested in. Now, if you maybe cannot afford to get either the vitamin package, the Healthy Habits Kit, or the emotional aromatherapy kit, but you want to get one, maybe one resonated with you, still email me and contact me. Another thing that you can do is you can book a free consultation with me. The link is here, bit.ly/My Essential Life. So that's 2 L's, My Essential Life. And then if you're watching this and maybe another doTERRA representative recommended that you come on and take this particular class just for, just to learn more about emotional balance, then contact that representative if you want to choose any of the packages that we made available to you. Also, you can reach out to Celine if you need any coaching. I didn't put her information on here, but you can definitely reach out to her if you need coaching. Reach out to myself if you need coaching as well. Would you like to give your information?
Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. I will leave this with you. I think just leaving it with you, you're in good hands with Jacqueline. And if you have any questions, or maybe you want to work with the both of us, I'm sure, Jacqueline, we can come up with something, some type of group of some sort, group coaching or something for you to really help you along your journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And last but not least, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking time to be a part of our class today. We will do another class on this coming Friday. This is our next class, talking about the exact same thing that we talked about today. So if you want to invite your friends, maybe you learned something and you want to share this information with other people, feel free to invite them. The same link that you use to come on to this class is the same link that you'll give to them. But we will be here Friday, May 29th at 12:30 Central Standard Time, which is 1:30 Eastern Time. So we hope that you can join us then. Thank you so much for being a part of today's Self-Love and Essential Oils class. I'm so honored to have you join us today, and I'm so honored to work with you, Celine. I appreciate you so much. And we will see you all on Friday. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.